Hello, everyone. Welcome to File New. My name is Wade Acuff. I'm giving Ryan Selvey a little break, a well-deserved break. I want to welcome everybody in. I see Oliver and Clever and Jacob. Thank you so much for being our mod today. I have been joined by my cat, Jackie. He's just out of frame. Hopefully he'll stay there. We'll see. We'll see. I have no control over any of that. I do want to mention that we have a raindrop available for you that has I'll say most of these file links for you because I have thrown a few curveballs in here. I think Ryan will update this at a later date. I feel like there's something else I need to mention. No, I think we're just going to get started and jump right into some news. Okay, well, we do have the raindrop. That's what I was mentioning. It has all of the links for today if you guys want to check it out. Clever already has their finger on the vote button because, we'll be doing Font of the Week here shortly. But let's start things off with a little bit of Adobe news. And this is a new Substance 3D reviewer from Adobe and Meta as they reimagine design reviews. Let me play this video while we watch, while I chat. Design teams are often spread out across locations, but traditional 2D design teams, traditional 2D design reviews don't show how 3D products will actually look or feel in the real life. Adobe Substance 3D Reviewer lets teams view designs at life-size scale in virtual reality or on the web, built in partnership with Meta and optimized with the Quest headsets. Teams can walk around 3D models, see proportions accurately, and test context like how the product will look on shelves or how they feel in hand before making an actual product. Now, my question is always, let's just back it up. We'll back the video up here. So, for instance, engineers, I'm speaking directly to you. When you're reviewing things like this, you have to think about how the laundry will hang on these items, how any surface area that you design will be filled with things that it was not designed for. So be sure to think about those when you're looking through your Quest headsets. Because that is one thing that always happens with any kind of design. Well, let's move right along. I think this is pretty cool. You guys let me know. This is a Cornell research has developed an invisible light-based watermark to detect deep fakes. Now, of course, everything's always changing. I'm not going to play this video, but I'll just read some of the highlights here. It's a concept called noise-coded illumination. It was presented at SIGGRAPH 2025, and it's a watermark that's embedded into the physical light that lights the scene. Think about that. That's amazing in some aspects because a lot of times cameras and platforms have ways to put a digital watermark on an image or video. In this case, you shine the light that lights the scene, and it has a, like it was saying, it's called noise-coded illumination. Tiny variations in lighting frequencies are imperceptible to human visual perception, and it allows them to basically put a code in the lighting. I'm just going to read a couple of quotes here. When someone manipulates a video, the manipulated parts start to contradict what we see in the codes. So if they're trying to generate something to make a deep fake, it won't match the lighting of the rest of, or the code that's embedded in the lighting. Let's see. It says if someone tries to generate a fake video with AI, the resulting code videos just look like random variations instead of the coded variation. Even if an adversary knows the technique is being used and somehow figures out the codes, their job is still harder. And that's what I was referring to at the beginning of this. Like, obviously, a lot of the comments were things like, give us 5 minutes, we'll break the code, we'll fix it or whatever. But I say anything to make it harder let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. We do have a very short news section today, but I have to mention, and this is just this is just breaking news. Not really. There's nothing on this, but there's a PSA that I have to make. Walmart shrimp may be radioactive. I just come on. This is normally we're state, but this is kind of funny. Not funny, obviously, but Food and Drug Administration said Tuesday that the public should avoid eating certain frozen shrimp sold at Walmart. CS cesium 137 contamination may have affected shrimp products sold at Walmart stores in 13 states, including Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Texas, and West Virginia. So the PSA is don't eat the radioactive shrimp. And I do want to do a quick little shout outs, and I didn't know where to put this. This is kind of cool. I consider it news. This is from our very own Howard Pinsky. Wait, hold on before we move on. Oliver says, does it give superpowers? Don't even try. Don't try it. But back to this. This is pretty cool. A little thing in Illustrator that Howard was showing us is, I think it's in beta. I'm not sure. I believe it's in beta, but it's turntables in Illustrator. It takes a second to generate, and then it makes a 3D version. You can see some clipping on this leg. Well, you can't see it now because I can't move it, but it's pretty cool. I wonder if it works. And anybody knows, please post in the Discord. Oh, by the way, there is a Discord. We'll get to that in a second. But I wonder if it works like NURBS, which is a modeling system, non-uniform rational B-splines modeling. And it's basically you can create curves to make all your models. I'm just wondering if that's sort of what's going on here. Finally, turntables. Yeah. We should have had, yeah. Like there's a little spot that shows up on the bottom. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but I don't think maybe it's not NURBS. I don't know. Guys, let me know. And like I said, a Discord shout out is always newsworthy. Ryan works very hard on this Discord. Go just send him some love over on the Discord. He puts up a schedule every week. And as you can see today, we have, hey, look, there we are. This is all of us, guys. We're file new. But then after this, we have creative retouching and no experience necessary over on Twitch. We'll talk about that at the end. But I just want to give that a shout out before we move on to the ever popular font of the week. Okay, font of the week fans, hold on. I'm going to do, I don't know if this has been done, but I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to give you an example of all of these first. So we have RL Folklore, Beverly Drive Right, and LTC Gaudi 30. But here's what they all look like. This is what they look like, folks. Because what I've seen historically happen with Font of the Week is one thing gets explained, we start talking about it, and then people inevitably vote. This way you can say, I clearly saw all of them, and I will talk about them individually, just a little bit of info on each one. But I wanted to give you this first, and I'm just going to put up the vote poll now. I believe I have it ready. Let's see. Let me know if that loads. And you guys can start voting. Please, someone remind me to check this at the end. I'm going to let this run to the bitter end of this episode of File New. But let's go back and talk about some of this real quick. So we're starting with RL Folklore. And it's in Adobe Fonts. It's over on fonts.adobe.com. It is designed by Radek Lukaszewicz. I'm probably saying that wrong. Foundry is Rad Luka, It's a display typeface that subverts sans serif norms by blending humanistic and serif-like forms, bold, blocky, and carved aesthetic. I would say that is definitely a fitting description for this guy. Yeah, I love Beverly. I know it may. We'll get there. So this is let's see, best case use case for this one. Ideal for impact display usage, headlines, branding, large format text, or densely set display paragraphs. It has one style, a black weight style. Includes broad language support across numerous Latin script languages. Moving on to Beverly. Guys, I love Beverly Drive Right. There's also a Beverly Drive, what is it called? Here, I'll go find it real quick. Beverly Drive. It's just Beverly Drive, and that's the one that leans left, I believe. I'm a big fan of Beverly Drive Right, but let's talk about it for a minute. We probably some of us probably know the foundry as Hoodspah. This one was designed by Amy Hood. It is a script font, a retro script font with a low X height, exaggerated cap height. Best use case is use the default style. There are two styles, by the way. So use the default style set for more casual applications like restaurant menus and beer labels, and the fancier style set for wedding invites and holiday graphics. I think we used this as one of the Adobe graphics way back for the one of the holiday specials, seasonal shows, one of those things. And then let's move on to LTC Gaudi, which Gaudi 30. I like this one. It's really exceptional as like in body copy, I think. It was designed by Frederick W. Gaudi, published by Lanston Type Company. It's a Gothicized Roman serif, retaining Gaudi's classic warmth, yet more compact and robust. There's a little bit more here. My cat is now. Okay, well, I'm going to focus. Let's see. So it has upright, dignified proportions with slightly squared serifs and compact width. Best use case: elegant body text in book design, formal innovations, covers. Let's see, where traditional serif feel meets clarity and sophistication. I really like this one. This was a really tough one for me, and I think we have to do this. I think this is part of the file new. It's part of, we have to do it. We have to make sure we can decide clearly. We have to use these as the new, I think it's, maybe we're trying to find file new. We're trying to find the new logo. I think that's what or the word mark. I think that's what we're always trying to do. So that's file new. I actually like that without the spaces. Let's see. Let's try another one, shall we? File new in Beverly Right. Beverly Drive Right. Okay. Okay, this one has a little bit, let's put a little space in there, and then with Alt and our arrow key, I can adjust this just a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to typeset this live, I guess, but maybe a little bit. I don't know. I kind of want to look. Should I look, chat? Should I look over at what's happening in the poll? I'm trying to avoid it, to be honest. Yeah, Oliver says this is, I think he's referring to LTC Gaudi 30 as in a ye olde typey, and I believe he's correct. Oops. This one also has, I think, some space issues. Let's see. All right. Oh, also wrong. Hello? Alt again, select the space, use the arrow keys. Bum, bum, bum. I'm just visually doing this. There's no rhyme or reason right now, but For me right now, folklore wins in the file new category of potential. I don't know. I'm not going to influence the voting, but Beverly Drive is really cool. I'm just saying. Typesetting live. Yeah, nothing more exciting than typesetting live, which means you guys vote, and I'm going to move over to a rebrand. Pretty light in the rebrand today, and it's not... yeah, this is an interesting one. Then this is less of what the visuals are for me, but this is from Grace Snelling at Fast Company. For the first time since 2008, Delta updated its identity with new colors, motion elements, and 2 bespoke typefaces. Can we leave bespoke off of things? I mean, I understand we all need adjectives to describe things, but the classic Delta widget was reimagined as a 3D object and new guidelines for how it can move and appear in motion design. But this is more of a Delta is positioning itself beyond transportation. It's aiming to deliver a premium experience, personalized, lifestyle-driven travel experience. The red and blue stay as the core colors. There's a little use of that little triangle there, the symbol. Let's see. The red and blue stay as colors. New expressive hues like sky blue, mint green, and neon pink were added to inject emotion and flexibility. The airline is redesigning plane interiors. Go look for this. I didn't have an example on this, but there's definitely images out there. The airline is redesigning plane interiors with luxe details, adding mood lighting, and launching high-end airport lounges, reinforcing its push towards premium, towards premium revenue. I think it has different tiers now. I did go look at that. I don't know if it's a plan you have with them, but it is interesting, and they're launching it all with a new visual look as well. Now, I do have to mention, wait, hold on just a minute. We'll catch up on chat. Let's see. Umacorn's flipping out over something. But this next rebrand, this is just going to be a little blip. So MSNBC is separating from NBC Universal, and they have to forge ahead with a new logo, a new branding. This is from, I think this was from Brand New. Yeah, this is from Brand New. I don't know. Let us know what you think. This is the new logo here on the right. It says MS Now, which is My Source News Opinion World. Now, I live in Mississippi, and we have several outlets that use MS as the abbreviation for Mississippi for their news outlets. So we have MS Today or MS This Week, or whatever. You put MS in front, and then you talk about whatever. That's what I thought this was when I saw it. I was like, oh, this is a new Mississippi-based news outlet. It is not. A lot of people are saying that it looks like Miss Now, as if they're Miss Now. But MS Now, I think it would benefit without a space. Like just how NBC is no spaces in between. I think it would benefit with that. People would still get it. I don't think it needed the space. I don't even know where to start with the flag idea. I don't know what that's telling me. I think there's an equal sign or something in there. I don't know. I think it needs some tweaking. But that was just a little blip. As we move on to a heaping ton of resources. Okay. On the previous story, Oliver is saying, doesn't MS make everything Microsoft? Yes. I believe officially they would also want you to think that. So they have trained you well, Oliver. But moving on to resources, this is over on Our Graphic Design by Temporary String 5557. They're requesting this effect. They requested this, and Elber responded with a cool, I don't see, oh, it's down here. Okay. So this is a cool effect that's happening down here. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick as I pop over in to Illustrator to do that. Now, I am going to read this because they're the comments. I'm just going to read through it and see if we can recreate it. It says, draw a bunch of stroked line objects like the circles above. All right. I didn't hold down shift. I guess if I did, they would be all the same. Let's see. Okay, so with this, it says draw a bunch of stroke line objects. Okay, they're just a stroke. There's no fill. In the appearance panel, add the path outline stroke. So I'm going to go over to the appearance panel and go to here we go. Down here, effects, path outline stroke. Because it's wait, sorry. Add it to each of them. Let's see if I've already destroyed this. Outline stroke, and then group them. Control G, and then add the Pathfinder effect and add. And you guys can click on that link and follow this along because I am probably confusing you because at this point you go to stylize round corners. And I'm going to bump this up a little bit. Okay, I think we did something. I think we have done something here. This is kind of cool. They were just trying to get that effect, I think. There we go. Oh, that's neat. I would say do this just to play around with this effect, because I think you can grab any of these and start messing around with the circles. Bubbles, yeah, kind of like bubbles for sure. Let's see what happens if we add in another circle. I'm in the group. Okay, I'm not in the group. Let me double click into the group. Now I'm going to add a circle here. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. Oh. There we go. I don't know. It's that's interesting. It's not quite doing the same thing, but I would say go and play around with that just to check it out. And my cat is now in my closet. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it was Jack. It was Jack. Okay, I'm coming back. Where were we? Resources? Yeah, we're No, Meeps is doing well. Meeps is fine. Okay, so we're moving right along. We've got some After Effects new features you'll love. I promise you're going to love this if you're into After Effects at all. Now, I'm not going to play this video throughout, but I will show a clip that they do nicely have links for you down here. But let's look at what the overview is. This is from Stern Effects, and it's a video that goes over some of the quality of life updates. Dynamic text from Photoshop. This is interesting. A smart text layer that you can resize automatically within bounding boxes and carry over into After Effects as editable, animatable 3D text. There's also quick layer offsetting, which is the thing I'm going to show here. New modifier key shortcut lets you easily stagger or offset layers and keyframes, saving tons of time compared to manually adjusting them. So let's take a look at that real quick. And I guess you might be able to hear him, maybe not. No, I think I muted it. But if you notice, he's going to select all of these. And then he's going to hold down, what does it say? The modifier key. I think it's Alt. Oh, yeah, it shows it right here. Option. And then it lets you slide these over, and it's going to give you an offset. It says total offset as you slide. So that's pretty dope. I'm going to pause that right there. There are a couple other things too. There's an effect info button that when you're looking at your effects, there's like a little eye next to it. And if you click it, it will take you over into Adobe's help page that will give you a better understanding of how that effect is going to be applied or what that effect does. That's always convenient. I remember way back when they first, and they may still have it, I haven't used it in a while, but when they had a lot of presets, they had a little preset library for type that you could look and go and just preview the gallery and see what all of those things would do. Let me check over on YouTube. Yeah, Jack. I have decided he can be in the closet, but there were certain things he could not get into. So we're good. That's the breaking news on Jack. There's also one sneak peek feature that I really hope they bring. I really hope they bring it to After Effects. And I think it might be in a beta version or a build of some type because they use it right here. And it is the option drag duplication of shape layers, which makes sense, right? You already can do that in Photoshop and Illustrator and other Adobe products. So I really like the idea of bringing that into After Effects. And we're going to stick with After Effects, because here's a real fun little thing. This was from Egen Motion, After Effects, in the R After Effects, Reddit After Effects channel. It's Egen Motion AE, and it is part of their Effects Pro preset pack, which is a paid thing, but if we just take a look at it, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy this effect. Even in the non-halftone, this is really cool over here. There's the Ghost Trail preset. And it is available for purchase, but I just wanted to highlight this just as maybe start thinking about how you might could create this effect. It is a really fun halftone. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be when you're animating, it could be part of something that's shaded. That could be cool as opposed to like a trail for something. And then since that was paid, let's go over to something that is free. And we're talking light leaks. This is from, this is in the Reddit Premiere channel, and it's Milk Pack TV made some light leaks, and let's just take a look at them. I don't know about you guys, but light leaks, you can use them for all kinds of things, transitions especially, but just adding them layered on top of your film with a multiply or an add or something like that really can, I don't know, boost the way it looks. Now, you could overuse them. That's always the case. We got some puns over in YouTube. A real persuader to negotiate with a cat. But these light leaks are really... I don't know. They're cool. I'm trying to think. I'm definitely saving them for myself. I will definitely be using these when I find a spot for them. If there's anything else for the light leaks. It is free. It's available for free via the link that you guys have. Moving on. Again, like I said, we are heavy on resources today. Heavy on resources. Okay. This is an Illustrator. This is an Illustrator situation here with a script for naming your artboards. I'm going to let this play. I don't know. Let me know if you guys use artboards enough that this might come in handy. I'm sure somebody out there can use it. But this was posted by VYRUS57 to the R Adobe Illustrator channel. It says it lets you add a prefix, a separator, numbering, padding, and a suffix to your artboards. It's available free through the link as well. Anybody out there using artboards? Use responsibly. Yes, use responsibly. There we go. So yeah, if you're a big artboard user, I could definitely see where that would come into play. Now for After Effects, now this one's really kind of cool. This is available on AE Scripts. This is a control groups plugin. I have not used this. I will play it. We might get an ad. We did not get an ad. But this is an AE Scripts script, I guess, or it's a pack. It's $39.99. But it lets you put things into groups that you can put hotkeys on for navigation. So reselecting layers that you always have to select. If you've used After Effects at all, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's indicating here you can select all these and add these to a control group. It goes way beyond that too. They say that control groups introduces a system inspired by real-time strategy games, letting users group layers or locations and instantly recall them with keyboard shortcuts. You can jump to any comp or timeline position, restore past selections, and organize projects more fluidly, cutting down hours of repetitive navigation. And I don't know, it looks really fun. I have not used it. I have definitely had projects in the past that I could have used it on. Yeah, nice if you have tons of layers. 100%. Me, Jacob says. Yes, that is definitely a thing. If you have the cache and you try it out, please get back to us on the Discord and let us know. Okay, this is another good resource. This one's all about type and free open. This site lets you learn about brands that make their typefaces open source. This is a write-up by Sarah Daly, and it goes through Google Fonts, which is included in the Adobe Fonts. It talks about companies like IBM, Reddit, and GitHub that make their custom fonts open source to solve specific design challenges, things like legibility or multilingual support, and to share those solutions with the wider creative community. Now, I've definitely used some of these typefaces. The thing that I really like about it is they're all free. They're easy to share, and they come without any licensing headaches. That's all mentioned here also. That's not just my opinion. That's something they talk about here. But it makes it simple for individuals, teams, and contractors to use them anywhere you want to use fonts. I've definitely used these. I used to use some. I don't remember what it was. One of my older websites was all open source typefaces. Yeah, exactly. Oliver's saying there are some great open source fonts out there. If you know any offhand, list them in chat. If you already know some, list them in chat. It'd be great to see some. They go through some examples of them. Let's see. Fonts like IBM, Plex, and Livic help brands express their personality and values, unify identity across platforms, and even appeal to communities like software engineers. Open source fonts encourage collaboration, support independent type designers, and are built to work seamlessly with your tools. And that's the part that I think is kind of most important about a really well done open source typeface. You're probably not going to have any issues using it with any programs or anywhere you want to use them. So we've got Umo saying Noto is a good sans. I'm guessing good sans serif. The ones I know are all in this article. Yes, Oliver. Oliver's attesting to the examples here. Dengrek is cute. Was that that was up here, I believe, right? Or maybe I imagined it. Or is it in this list? They have a bunch. Sorry for all the scrolling, but they have a bunch in that list up there. Yeah, so good to know. Always get to know your open source typefaces and what you can use. Okay, so this is a little news, not news, a little bit of a resource on tangents, and I might go off on a tangent here, just FYI. If you guys don't know what tangents are, they're usually in drawing. That's what this is specifically about. It's a drawing resource to learn about tangents. Usually they are considered a bad thing. Well, they kind of always are, because tangent means you're distracting from the focus. You're going off on a tangent. It's not really what you're trying to do. You're trying to lead the eye where you want it to go. And Pat Jacker here on Instagram talks all about that. And there's a couple of things here that I wanted to point out. He's trying to reframe tangents, and while I completely agree, I think this is a really cool way to look at tangents, because he's using them as a tool, because he talks about breaking the rules, and then clearly this is a tangent, and there he's overlapping this little lemon guy, so there's no more tangent. But what he does in the next few slides, and I'll let you guys go check this out if you'd like, he talks about how he's redesigning his character here using tangents. But my argument is they're no longer tangents if they're not distracting. So tangent doesn't just mean one line touches another line. It means they're touching a line or an edge or something that is now distracting. That is the only caveat I'll add to this. For example, though, this is really cool. He talks about placing the ears, and they have a tangent, and then there's still an overlap. And that's kind of what's making that. Now, he says that there's a tangent here with this eye, and it is in the drawing phase, but when you see the character, I'll go back. When you see the character, it's a color block. So he's using that tangent to his advantage to draw attention to where the eyes are. Now, that to me tells me it's no longer a tangent, because it's not distracting, it's drawing attention. But it's a really fun way to reframe tangents, and and they're very clear and very true about. It's a good thing to note. You got to know the rules so that you can break them correctly. Now, I would say go look through some of the comments, because I love the fact they asked, do you like this version better than the original? And I don't know. What do you think, chat? I kind of like the slumped silhouette of the original character. That's kind of where I'm landing. Let's see. Yeah. But yeah, I like the silhouette of this one. I think this straight line is a little bit too much, but I could definitely see it being stylized for animation purposes. You could have some really fun, not breaking the border of your silhouette type things with animation. I'd have to see it animated. That's the thing. But I think it's a really fun write-up and a great way to look at breaking the rules and using things like tangents in your favor. 100%. Okay, we're going to move on to a motion design resource. Oh yeah, and this one, I'm going to play this one. I think we're okay to play it. Let's see. So this one is from Chris Moran, and it talks about moving textures and moire patterns. If you don't know what a moire pattern is, if you've ever had to film or any kind of experience filming things, and they'll talk about it. I'll just play the video.
Notice the circle shimmering. Probably seen this used in a Johnny Harris video. That printed collage style where textures feel alive. It's called a moire pattern. It's when two similar but slightly different patterns interact. For example, halftone dots in your screen pixels. Normally it's considered a defect. That's why commercial producers will tell their talent not to wear small print. But when you use this intentionally, it can add some texture and depth and movement to something that would otherwise be boring. Here's how you're gonna do it. You can grab a really high-res halftone pattern from somewhere like Texture Labs. Drop it over your footage and set the blend mode to overlay. And then you're gonna add some slow camera movement into your scene to make it feel like this texture's dancing. And that's pretty much it. Now you have this in your back pocket to get that alive print look for your next project. Do you notice this?
Okay. So yeah, if you didn't get all of that, moire patterns happen all the time, especially when you're catching things on camera. And he was mentioning what I was talking about. When you're doing broadcasts, they will tell you not to wear striped shirts, not to wear anything with a micro texture that could change. I love the idea of this. I've done it accidentally where it worked. I've done it purposefully with noise patterns and, putting a little bit of static on one thing. But I'm not sure I've ever done it with an overlapping texture on purpose. So I love the idea of this and just giving it a little bit of, I don't know, some style to it. Now, the note here says it would work well for documentary style and retro inspired edits. But I mean, I think anywhere you could add a little bit of texture flavor. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be fun. I think sparingly and not over large swaths of video might be the way to go with that. I could definitely see, like, say you have type with a drop shadow, and the drop shadow might have some of that moire pattern in it as it's moving. Speaking for motion graphics. Oh yeah. Oliver's doing some song. I think that's an attempt at some lyrics. I like it. Okay, moving right along. Oh, okay. This one is cool. This one is also cool. If you ever wanted to make a metallic type just out of the box, Instagram user animography_net has posted how to create metal effect right in After Effects without any plugins. And some of you may have stumbled across these things before, because I definitely have used some glass effects and other things to make like a metal. But this one talks about how to go through this directly. I'm not going to walk through these exactly. You guys can look this up if you want to recreate it. But it's a lot. It's pretty, there is also a free source file. It's pretty in depth, has some really fun uses. It uses bevel, fractal noise, alpha mats, and colorama to create convincing reflections. There's also a suggestion to try messing with the colors to make a prismatic sheen, and I think this is the reference for that. Like, that's really cool. That's very, it's almost like Marty McFly's hat in, I think it's Back to the Future 2. It's that look. But if you want to find like a metallic, just a sheen or a shine or something that just sets your font or sets your type apart. And guess what, folks? It doesn't have to be just for type. You could do this for shape layers, all sorts of things. I know we all sometimes default to what the user has posted, but I believe you could do it with just about anything. In fact, was one of these an example of that? Let me go through real quick. No, I guess not. I thought, maybe at the end. No, these are all type effects. There we go. Oliver's not taking credit for his previous musical lyrics. So, what's up, RB? Okay, moving right along, and I believe we're already over into Spotlight. Hey, before we move into Spotlight, folks, how is the poll going? I haven't looked yet. What are we thinking? What does chat think about what's happening? But let's move over into our Spotlight and get going. Okay, this first Spotlight is the art of the album campaign, why music now comes with its own visual universe. Now, I'm going to say this straight at the top. I don't know why it's emphasizing now. I think just because you have to write about something. And this is from Zara Afteb from It's Nice That. But using the word now is a little deceiving here, because they're talking about creating a visual, basically campaigns for personas with artists. Modern music campaigns go beyond singles and albums. Artists now craft immersive visual worlds across videos, posters, set design, merch, social media, and creating alternate realities for fans. Stars like Chappell Rowan, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, and Charlie XCX have built strong, cohesive aesthetics that amplify their music and help them to stand out in a saturated digital space. Now, we've all seen things like Charlie XCX had the whole Brat phase, and that's what they're talking about here. Is they're building out the marketing that encompasses what that era or what that vibe currently is. Lady Gaga has done this for years. In fact, they do mention Ziggy Stardust, one of David Bowie's alter egos. That was just like this happening here. I would also say the Smashing Pumpkins Melancholy and Infinite Sadness era was very much that same vibe. Everything was designed and put out to aesthetically kind of adhere to one another. So that you got an idea. It says that designers, directors, and studios emphasize that visuals must tell a story. Well, I mean, that's what they have to do. Reflect the artist's identity and create emotional, resonant fan experiences across all touch points. Visual identity has become essential for how fans connect with artists, with even simple choices like color theme, help build lasting recognition and authenticity in an era chasing viral moments. So that's what they're talking about here. It's a fun read. I didn't cover everything, obviously, but they talk about quite a lot. It's fascinating. I'm glad that, they took a moment to talk about some of these specifics. But that is a fun little spotlight for how albums are now this whole visual campaign. I love Lamb. Okay. Poll is going well. The correct font is winning. Okay. We'll see. We'll see about that. We're all winners here. Fonts. I'm looking at you. Let's see. Let's move on to the next spotlight. This one involves Adobe Express and Magic School. Adobe Express and Magic School are two tools that engage learners and help teachers. The Adobe Express team, this is from the Adobe Express team. Over 90% of educators want new tools to differentiate learning and engagement. Adobe Express for Education and Magic School answered this need. Teachers use Magic School to simplify text and Adobe Express to visualize them. It's helping reluctant readers gain confidence and spark discussion. For students with disabilities or nonverbal learners, simplified text plus visual/voice-based storytelling give every student a way to participate and showcase their learning. These tools these tools save teachers time, boost student confidence, and prepare learners with future-ready creative and critical thinking skills. Now, I would say go read this for the anecdotal, in a good way. It has little anecdotes for how they've used them, how these teachers have used them in their teaching. And it's really fun little success stories. And it's one of those things that's like, I didn't think it would be that motivational, but it really was kind of cool to see how they're using these new tools just to help educate. I thought it was a really fun little write-up. Thank you, Adobe Express blog. And this next, we're going to move into a little bit more artistically personal, I guess. Toscano Banano, I think that's how you say this, on Instagram, commented that these 4 books taught them more than art school. Okay, let's take a brief pause. I've had a lot of art school. I will say the art school of life has taught me more than art school. I don't regret any of the art schooling that I had, but go check these books out. I think I have one of them, and I think it's the first one on the list. I think I have The Anatomy of Type. I'm pretty sure I have that one. They say, I never learned about typefaces while studying illustration, but this book explains everything clearly. Plus, it includes a super useful guide on which typeface fits which type of work. So that's a really good resource. But this is a spotlight. The next one is let's see, this one. They say this one is a must. The Fair Practice Code. It's a Dutch guideline for working in the arts, culture, and creative sectors, and is built on 5 core values: solidarity, diversity, sustainability, trust, and transparency. And then the third book is Understanding the Invisible Art, Comics, I believe. Understanding Comics, the Invisible Art, maybe. This book showed me the magic of abstraction, timing, and visual storytelling, helping me draw in a way that actually communicates. Bonus points, apparently it is also a comic, so that's really cool. I am not going to show you the 4th book. You guys can click on the link that's in the raindrop, and you can go check out the 4th book for yourselves. I do really like when people share their influences, like things that books they've learned from, instructors they enjoy, those kind of things. So share those too. If you have any, share those in the Discord. I'm always a big fan of that. And then this is just a little meme that we have to spotlight on. If you guys have not been following AI Chat GPT, the M- saga, it's been a wild one. Because what's happening, and this just says they don't know I've been using the M- for 15 years now, and my writing style just looks suspicious. Well, it's because ChatGPT uses a few M-, and for those that aren't familiar with M-, it is a proper grammatical tool or usage, can look odd, and so that's been kind of an ongoing thing. I don't know, thought it was funny, thought I'd put it here. I think the Albert says the Anatomy of Type is on the wish list. Oh, it's on your bookshelf. Yeah, see, there you go. And we're gonna get through a couple of these real quick. We're gonna click through these. Wow. We're gonna get through this together, folks. Hyperlinks is up next. I got some rock facts for you. Nice.rocks is a fun little site made by Francois Elaine. They love going on walks and spotting interesting rocks. They couldn't always take the rocks with them due to like pocket space or storage limits or legality. So instead, they started photographing these rocks and then combining them with the longitude and latitude of the location that they found these rocks. And you can just click through and look at the rocks, and it has the little indicator down below. It's just a fun little thing to do. It's not a serious rock index. It's more like a playful collection. Hurry to fonts. Oh, we gotta hurry. Okay, we'll get there. I gotta show you this real quick though. You can go over to this cool aging web experience. The last link that we have today, you can just drag your cursor over it, and it gets weird and it de-ages as it comes as you leave it. And okay, we got to get to the fonts. All right, guys, what did you guys pick for fonts? I'm finally gonna look, pulling up the fonts. Oh wait, let's do the thing. All right, it's ended. It looked like, oh wow, Folklore has won the font of the week challenge. So doesn't Ryan like put a little, I don't know, what does he do? What does Ryan do? What would Ryan do? I think he puts a little crown or something. So Folklore, I'll do this in honor of Roll or Troll. That's our winner. And then we'll draw a little crown real quick to put over the top. Let's do that on a new layer. Boop, 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 bing. And then we add some little shine marks. So it looks like, yeah, I got to put a crown on it. That's right. That's the only way you can know if something has officially been called the font of the week or not. But we did it, guys. We got through all of these. I do appreciate everybody coming and hanging out for this file new. Let Ryan know that you miss him. over on the Discord. And I guess tell him hi as well. But we're not done. We're not done today. There's more to come. Right after me over on Twitch, and I think I showed you guys this before, but I'll go again. We have a few minutes. If I can find it. So yeah, check it out. We're going to start with creative retouching in just a few minutes here over on Twitch. So don't forget that that's coming up, and that's followed by CANLA with no experience necessary. And they are also a hoot. I just want to say that. Thank you, Jacob, for being the mod. Guys, thank Jacob. Always excellent. But that's pretty much going to do it for us. But yeah, up next we have more Adobe Live over on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Adobe. And thanks everybody for watching, and have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.